guys, Hannah here and welcome to today's mini Zentangle session. Today is week 5, day 5, and the materials we're going to need are a black micron pen, and if you don't have one, a black biro, a black pencil. If you have a blending tool or a tortillon, great. If not, an earbud will be fine. And then a square of white card, and this one measures 5 by 5 centimetres. If you would like to pause the video to go and get your materials ready, get yourself a drink and sit nice and comfortable. When you're all settled, we will begin. So I'm starting with my pencil and I'm putting my border around the outside as we have done before. And then I'm going to draw my grid. And for today's example, I'm going to draw it on the diagonal. So bottom left to top right. And then using my eye, I'm splitting the right hand part and drawing another line, and then I'm turning it upside down and I'm going to split it again. So I've got 3 lines going that way. I'm then turning it to the side and I'm going to repeat it. So I end up with a grid shape. Now those of you that feel confident, please feel free to do all of that in pen. I like to show you in pencil just for those that don't feel as confident to draw directly onto the page in pen. And as you know, we don't use erasers or rulers in Zentangle. Okay, so there's a couple of ways that we can draw this. I think this is the most easiest way, if that's grammatically correct. I think this is the easiest way that I've found to draw it. So I'm going to focus my eyes on these 4 in the centre, and that's all I'm going to draw in for now. So I'm going to decide which way is up. So in my mind, this way is up. And starting off in each of those 4 centre squares, I'm drawing a line down 2 sides. And with the exception of this one, where I've obviously had a complete blonde moment, they're all about the same distance apart. And then going back to that original position, and I'm coming out a little bit further, and I'm going to draw another set of 2 lines. I'm pretty sure you can see where I'm going with this one. So as it stands at the moment, I've got 3 sets. Now I can leave it and finish off there, or I can add some more. And you'll notice that I always do those 4 lines before I turn it to do these 4 lines. So I'm going to add 1 more set. So we've got in each box. And that's where I'm going to leave it. And then in each of those top boxes that's been left, I'm going to colour in thick black. And maybe this would help if I actually had a thicker fine liner, maybe an 05. But I'm pretty sure you get the gist of what I'm doing. So make your decision when you get to, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, I've done 5 rows. Make your decision whether you want 3 or 4 or 5, and each row you'll get a different effect. And if you decide when you get to the stage that I've done that you actually don't like the boxes that small, you just go down a row and colour in So I've only got 4 instead of 5. Can't do it the other way though. You can't go backwards. So I'm gonna, when I show you the examples, you'll see what I mean by different size boxes. So on this box, these 3 here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and the 5th box is covered in. This one we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 4th box is coloured in. Shading on this one is extremely simple. So this one here looks like it's sitting behind here, so I'm going to draw a line down there and also down there. This one looks like it's going underneath and sitting underneath that one, which means that one as well. Obviously, if you had more going round, you would need more parts shading. And I'm just going to shade these ones out. So if we did this one as well, you'd obviously do these 2. So that's an example of the principle of this one. Here is what it looks like when you draw more grids in. And I think for a tangle pattern that's very, very simple, once you get the hang of it, I think that that looks just fantastic. It reminds me of scales on an animal where they, or a reptile, where they sit over the top of one another. But I think with this one, I think it's pretty, but as soon as you add that shading in, it makes a real difference. And here is one like I've done here, and you'll see that I've carried on the corners and done the bits that we didn't do on this one. The difference is that on these ones, I've turned that upside down. So if you look, that is the same as that, but upside down. And again, you can play with this for ages and come out with all sorts of different patterns. So that's the same as that. But instead of doing, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 and I've coloured the 4th box in. This one's only got 2 and I've coloured the 3rd box in. But look what happens when I turn it that way. So instead of drawing the original grid across in a diagonal shape, this one I've just gone from top to bottom and side to side. So you have 2 ways. So let's leave that one like that and then turn that one on the side. So could you imagine that if you'd split this in half and drawn half of them going that way and half of them going that way? I think it would look quite amazing. Now those of you that get dizzy easily, you might want to look away at this one. This was a little bit of a brain teaser. It required quite a little bit of concentration because they're all done in opposite directions. So I've kept them as pairs. So these 2 come together, these 2 come together, and I think that the end result, I just think it looks amazing, especially for something that's just squares really. And once you've got the principle and you've understood how it works, well, you can be off and doing all sorts with it. So I hope you've enjoyed day 5. Please join me this weekend where we're going to do something a little bit different, but that it incorporates the tangles that we've learnt this week. I hope you've enjoyed yourself, and I look forward to week 5, day 6. Take care. Bye for now.